Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, ladies and gentlemen. Today we meet again at What on the News Today programs. Today, at our next forum discussion, we will discuss about homeschooling. Is it better than public school? Before that, let me introduce myself first. My name is Nurul Fatihah binti Zikri and I am stand at this studio today as a moderator for this program. We already invite 4 panel, which is panel 1 is teacher at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Kubang Keriang named Miss Umi Fatinah Uzma binti Muhammad Yusof. Panel 2 is a private teacher named Miss Siti Najihah binti Abdul Latif. Panel 3, a student named Nurul Atira binti Ramgo Fizan. Panel 4, a parent named Madam Syaikah Najwa binti Hilman. And the last one is a counselor at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Kubang Keriang named Miss Raja Hayati binti Raja Muhammad Nasruddin. I hope all of you in a best of health. To make this short, homeschooling is known as elective home education. Is education of schooling age children at home or a variety place other than a school. Homeschooling usually conducted by a tutor teacher, online teacher, and sometimes by parents too. Usually, homeschooling is not formal like a school, more personalized and individualized methods of learning that are not always found in a public school. Nowadays, we can see that there are a few parents that choosing homeschooling than public school. Before I got this foreign topic, I also do some research about the percent of students that choose homeschooling. The percent of students in a public school is more than homeschooling, but still the amount of homeschooling students is increased years by years. Without waste our time, I would like to invite panel 1 to give some opinion about this topic.
Thank you to the moderator. As a teacher at public school, I know all parents want to make the right choice for their children, but each child is unique in learning, and the option that might be right for another major might not be the best choice for our child. For example, most parents choose to homeschool because they think that homeschooling can make their children be quality students. Suppose you are considering homeschooling as an alternative. As parents, it would be best if you took the time to study the advantage of public school and homeschooling. I know both have their own advantage and disadvantage, but after you study about this, you might change your opinion and attitude toward public school. According to my observations, learning at school is more convenient and gives a lot of benefits. Public school offer more extracurricular opportunities, allowing students more social opportunities. It also provides elective options like art, music, and more. This program may not be available to homeschool today. Elective subject can help to expose students to subjects they might never know. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Umi Fatina. I got what you are saying, Miss Umi Fatina. From your opinion, I can see that you are strongly disagree with this topic. How about you, Panel 2? Do you agree with Umi Fatina?
I'm not really agree with the opinion of Umi Fatina. In my opinion, I'm in favor that homeschooling is better than public school. It is because students will be able to manage their time without follow the specific time that required rather than public school. Students also may not be tied with the time that has been given to them. Other than that, homeschooling also can give students for a better education. This is because as a private teacher, I personally will give a full attention to my student without any interruption. As the saying goes like sharing a cup full of oil. Also, in my personal experience as a homeschooling teacher, what can I see that homeschooling also can give a lot of benefit to parent itself. It is because parents may continue learning alongside with their children. For example, when their children are learning for the foreign language. As we know, nowadays being fluent in other language is one of the big advantage in Malaysia. Other than that, parents also can practice the other language with their children to show their interest about their kids' learning process. That is my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 2. How about you, panel 3? Did you agree with this topic?
I also agree with Ms. Najiha. In my opinion, homeschooling excels above public school in some ways. The reason is I, as a student who was homeschooled, acknowledge that homeschooling is a more effective learning method than public school. It has been observed that I, who are homeschooled, typically finish my curriculum considerably faster than students who are enrolled in a public school or private school. This is because I will understand topic more quickly with more individualized attention in homeschooling as opposed to falling behind due to a lack of understanding. I also have more time and opportunity to ask the teacher or parents numerous questions because the teacher is paying attention to me at such time, which will speed up my learning. Therefore, I will receive an individualized education plan, or often known as IEP. It outlines my strengths and weaknesses and suggests strategies to enable me to complete the required work. That's also from my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. That sounds fair. How about you, panel 4?
Thank you to moderator. But I'm sorry for disturbing. I'm not disagree with panel 2 and 3 because I have my own opinion, which is homeschooling consume more parents' time than public school. It is because if parents choose to be a homeschool teacher to their own child, homeschooling might be challenging if both of the parents are working or even a single parent. You cannot be with your children for the whole day because of the job demands. As a working parent, your out of work time is it might be in the evening. So when will you teach your children? Even if you or your spouse are not working or working from home, it also will be challenging as a parent and educator because you cannot be with your children the whole time. You must have a home chores that you need to be done. For example, you need to cook to feed your spouse and your children. However, if you send your children to public school, you don't need to worry about them for 7 to 8 hours because there are many teachers that can teach them there. As an employed parent, I prefer public school instead of homeschooling. That's all from me.
I see. Thank you, panel 4. How about you, panel 5? Did you have own opinion about this topic?
Um, Homeschooling and public school is not a strange thing to hear and argue, and everyone has their own opinion, including me as counselor. Children are exposed to a different value set in a public school environment as school setting is time-bound and rigid as abiding by rules makes for a good citizen. For the example, students tend to dislike school uniform, but once they graduate, they feel proud and a sense of belonging when they see their school uniform. So from public school, they can take various lessons from experience, memories, soft skills, degree of independence, and others. So that's all for my opinion.
Thank you, Ms. Rajun Hayati, for your clear explanation. explanation, I can conclude that there are only two panels that agree with this forum's topic today, which is Ms. Najiha and Ms. Atira, while the others is not agree with this topic. Panel 1, why do you think that you are not disagree with this statement that homeschooling is better than public school?
Thank you to the moderator. Like I said before, there's no denying that homeschooling and public school have their own advantage and disadvantage. However, one of the advantages of going to public school is public school have provide extracurricular activities. As we know that certain extracurricular activities can build skills in different developmental areas, whether the program you are considering for your child is physical, intellectual, or creative. However, research has shown that co-curricular activities in general can offer children the opportunity to build closer friends at school because of sharing the same interests or hobby, and also help build teamwork and problem-solving skills. Moreover, extracurricular activities can help children develop emotional rules that are brought to the classroom and encourage superior academic performance. Extracurricular activities also allow children and teens to pursue a special interests that are outside the regular education curriculum, including sports, community service, arts, hobby, and educational clubs. As a teacher, we encourage our students to join more than one extracurricular because an enrichment program enables students to realize their potential in a variety of settings beyond the classroom. Through educational enrichment programs, students can develop a sense of self-awareness and understand their schoolwork better with enrichment programs that are in line with the school curriculum. They also learn how to positively grow their interests and skills to have a more robust understanding of their potential. That's all. Thank you.
Sorry for interrupt, but I not really agree with Miss Uma opinion because homeschooling is just not focusing on curriculum, but parents also may customize co-curriculum subject for their kids, followed by what their kids tend to be, such as cooking, swimming, and many more. Not just that, the kids also can move more by play outside in the playground with their neighbor, spend extra time on things like connect with nature and move while learning academic, and also can gain confidence with time for skill. As a private school teacher, when I start teaching, I will be able to focusing on them and make sure they will get a flying color with all the subject that I have teaching. As we can see, the benefit of homeschooling in the academic perspective can shows that the homeschooling one of the best method of learning for kids. This is because parents have the opportunity to customize the learning style for their kids. According to the National Home Education Research Institutions, written by the Ray 2017, state that 78 of per review studies and academic achievement show homeschool students perform statistically significantly better than those in institutional school. So this is what can I say that I not really agree with Miss Uzma, because homeschooling also have curriculum activities that can build children's strength. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Umi, Fatina, and Miss Najiha. That sounds fair, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm pretty sure that public school have a better plan teaching learning too, because of public school always try and test teaching based on changing environment to students. Family learning also has their own benefits. How about you, Madam Shaika? Why you stand with your perception that public school is better than homeschooling? I see your first opinion about parents that want to hire a private teacher. How about you? How about a parent that want to hire a private teacher? Is it beneficial for parents and child, Madam Shaika?
Thank you, moderator, for asking me the question. Consider that I, as a working parent, want to hire a private teacher to make something less grievous. It will be financial burden to my family because homeschool is more costly than public school. In a certain level of study, homeschooling can cost up to 80 ringgit Malaysia per hour for one subject. And what about the other subject? That's only the cost of hiring a private teacher. How about the other costs such as the materials, textbook, and homeschool spaces? You need to prepare a big amount of money to cover the cost of it. But if you choose a public school, the materials and textbook will be provided by the school and teachers. Of course, public schools are not free either because you need to pay for the school attires and else. However, it is not costly as homeschooling. Thank you.
So you also agree with Miss Umi Fatinah that public school is better than homeschooling for our child. Thank you, Madam Shaika, Miss Umi Fatinah, for your point of view of this topic. I see there are a lot of advantages of public school. But why did you agree that homeschooling is better than public school? Panel 3, can you share to us the advantages of homeschooling?
It's because I, as a student who experience homeschooling, I would like to share the other advantages of homeschooling. Okay, families can become closer via homeschooling. I, as a homeschooling student, will be spending more time with my parents because they are homeschooling me. Though my parents teach me in a variety of methods, my parents who homeschooling me will help them understand who I am in a whole new light. It is not easy for parents to teach their own child, which is me, but it can also help us grow closer. Moreover, I get to spend more time with my siblings while I am learning at home. At home, where we all learn together, my siblings have the chance to share knowledge with one another in ways that they won't in a formal classroom. Additionally, homeschooling encouraged my siblings to interact more with one another, strengthening our bonds. Although spending so much time together as a family might be demanding at times, but homeschooling can also strengthen family bonds. Thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you, Miss Atira. It sounds fair enough. I already made a research too about this. Almost 80% agree that homeschooling is better than public school, with reasons including lack of violence, better social development, more effective learning, better overall education, and flexibility of learning time and co-curriculum, which is more target as result. I also believe that a homeschooling students can choose time to them to learn at their favorite time to study, and this will make them more interested in learning session. In addition, I think students can spend a lot of time with their parents too, like you said earlier. As you know, public school students mostly come back at 4 or 5 evening, and sometimes they need to attend extra class to back up subtopic or recover topic before examination started. I think when students choose homeschooling, they will have a really good bonding time with their parents and sibling. And even though they don't have or less outdoor activity with friends at school, but they still can have online friends. Now, I have a question to counselor. As an experienced counselor, I believe that students always find you if they need help, or they will get an advice from you if they do discipline problems at school. Do you have any sharing that prove more students choose public school more than homeschooling? And what did you say about this?
Thank you, Miss Moderator, for such a good question. Yes, as counselor, we are supposed to help and encourage students as their emotional well-being and state of mind are the factors that will lead them to become a successful learner. And the role of guidance counselor is further reiterated by Joanna White in her article that called a system approach to school counselor. Next, a poll from the National Center for Education Statistics cite that problems like apathy, tardiness, disrespect, and absenteeism pose significant challenges for teachers. These issues were seen more frequently at the secondary school level rather than primary grades. And we, counselor and myself, always ready to lend my both ears to my students to help them in many problems, whether in academic, mental health, personal problems, or others. And I will try to help them in those problems. Um, so that's all. Back to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, counselor. I believe that having a counselor can avoid students become a bad human creates before they always have someone to talk, someone that always feed them and advise them, and sometimes they feel like teacher is more understanding them more than their parents. Before that, I have a sharing too. My friends also put their children in homeschooling school because of his childhood experience at public school. So I can say that sometimes we only want the best for our child and we don't want our child feel the same situation that we already faced before. I believe that homeschooling also have better benefit at child mental health. As you know, students who choose homeschooling is less stressed because they will not receive a lot of homeworks or assignments like students in public school. They also will fight from social anxiety and depression. Nowadays, there are a lot of cases about students being bullied mental and physical by their friends at school, and sometimes let students to die or murder themselves because they cannot bear the effect of being bullied. So I really believe that this one is a big opportunity for homeschooling, and I think parents always want the best for their child, happy parents. Is it any parent want to add something before we end our program today?
Yes, moderator. As a teacher at public school, we are required to have an education degree, and most teachers have more experience in working. Teachers in public school are required to be certified by state certification, and all teachers who teach in public schools have a high level of education. This is, from this, they can teach and provide accurate and correct information to students. In addition, public school also can teach students to be more independent. For instance, when we are in the classroom, the teacher can walk around to observe what they are doing and encourage them to guide each other. Students realize that I never spoon feed the answer. So from that, they will work together with group members to find answer for each given task. That's all. Thank you.
Homeschooling can make us, a student, be independent and self-disciplined. I, who study at home, tend to approach life and learning with more independence. Essential life skills like time management, self-motivation, and leadership are taught to me who are homeschooled. Therefore, I will be more inclined to look for solutions on my own and take action when an issue arises. I who practice self-disciplines are also better equipped for college. Successful undergraduates must be able to assume personal ownership for their academic performance and sustains my commitment to my own study. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Umi Fatina and Miss Atira. And thank you everyone for your talk. I got what you are saying at the end of this show. I can conclude that homeschooling and public school have their own advantages and disadvantages. So I think we cannot make a reckless speculation if we heard some some parents do not send their children at public school. I believe that we only want the best for our child. A big thank you to all parents today because spend your time for us. I am very sorry if today's program seemed a bit longer from usual and see you again. Thank you.